Cube.
What?
DG&D is so fucking good. It's such a fucking good show.
I like the show, Fiend.
It's a really fucking good show.
Fiend, did you know they're very gay?
This is just another one of those times where I'm like, how is this show this good? How did this happen? This very silly premise.
By all accounts, it makes no sense.
Anyway, it's Anime Slushy, I'm Fiend.
I'm Cube.
We're talking about DG&D episodes 5 and 6, which are quite connected. So it turns out it was a good thing taking a week off.
Yeah. I was thinking that as I was watching that. I was like, hey. We planned it.
Yeah.
And what's funny to me is that what happens in these two episodes is what I really thought was going to be the finale of this season.
Yeah.
Because it has big finale energy, and I guess it ended up being like the half-core finale. But now I think the show is actually going to surpass where I got in the manga. So I'm like, oh, whoa.
I went back and looked at the volumes, and this actually does start to make sense because the first season was 2 volumes. And now this season is probably going to be 2 volumes as well.
Yeah.
So I would think, I think I know where we're going to end.
I guess I thought this part took longer than it did.
Which is interesting because they haven't skipped anything. They've added stuff, if anything. So I don't know. Yeah, I guess just the volumes work out to be about 2 volumes a season. Seems to work out nicely. Just real quick, the pre-OP gag for this one is Momo getting up early and making vessels for Lilith. It's played like you're following an artisan, crafting these things very carefully and very, lovingly.
The noble Momo.
Yeah. And then he cuts to Lilith being ungrateful because she wants them to be bigger and more sexy and stuff. And so Momo uses her wand to force her to thank Momo and talk all cutesy, which is kind of funny.
Yeah. It's interesting that I guess there must be off-screen times where Momo now is going up to Ogura like her drug dealer and just getting a bunch of homunculus clay.
Yeah, I guess so.
Just being like, give me more of that shit, give me a big old lump.
It's one of those things in the manga where making that doll the first time was kind of a big deal, but I guess they just like putting Lilith in that doll because it makes things easier. So she's just increasingly in a doll from now on.
Yeah, and Momo can make them super easy, like crazy. She made so many in that bag.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine, they just want to put Lilith in the doll. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I know.
But they do a lot of cute stuff with the doll that they didn't do in the manga. So the last episode had the whole thing with, Yuko needed a bunch of time to sleep off the effects of Liko's food. And when she wakes up, both Lilith and Momo are watching over as she sleeps. And once she's awake, Lilith just goes, Shemiko, and just sits on her lap. And it looks really happy. It was really cute.
Yeah. She loves her great-great-great-great-great-great-granddaughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, and those little moments in this episode where she's talking and moving around and it's showing her in her dreamosphere, talking and moving around in sync with her doll. And it's you're having fun. You're having fun, animators.
Momo's still feeling bad about what the manager said about Momo overworking Shemiko. Just making things too difficult for her. And so she's like, can I get you anything? Is there anything you want? And Yuko's just can I have an ice cream sandwich? And Momo gets cross. But then after the OP, you see her coming back from the shops and she has ice cream sandwiches.
And she's like, you said it could be anything. Yum, 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 yum. But also after the opening, it's time for Taper and Yuko to come visit Shamiko. They feel bad about the whole getting her way too super high thing. Oops.
Yeah, so this kicks off, basically a little 2-episode arc where a whole bunch of info is going to sort of come together.
Hell yeah.
Because aside from wanting to come over and apologize, they're like, well, we know that Yuko is coming over to try and get information so we can tell you what we know. And so, they're here to discuss Sakura.
Yeah, because he met her back when he was setting up his shop, and it's time to tell the tale.
It's a very short tale.
Yeah. So it's just a flashback where he's talking about on Christmas one year. What was it, 10 years ago?
10 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, that I was thinking about because wait, how old was Sakura? Because she looks still kind of around Momo's age, but then how old was she back then? And so how old would she have been now? And how, do you know any of that?
Momo, I think, might be maybe a year older than Yuko. She was significantly younger than Sakura.
Yeah.
So she was always, much older than Sakura, at least about maybe 8 to 10 years or so. So that makes sense.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So the flashback is she's been helping out Taper Guy to start up his cafe, and she's like, hey, here's this fox girl. She works for you now, okay? Oh, all right, sweet, bye.
And also, hey, over the next few days, there's going to be a virus, so just stay inside, don't go outside.
Yeah, what was with that? Do you know what that's about?
We don't know yet. I mean, the thing is that we know that, so Sakura disappeared around the same time as Yuko's dad. There was some sort of huge cataclysm that destroyed Mikan's family's factory.
Yeah, so there's like some crazy thing coming down that they had to battle, some like Satan hole.
Yeah, so something big was about to happen. And that's why I was wondering with Liko as well, because she's another demon. If that's the reason that she brought her to the tapir, because she's like, hey, can you, like, saying, she was saying, like, hey, can you hire her? She can cook. But it's also like, hey, can you keep her here with you out of the way? Because otherwise she might be in danger, is kind of what I was wondering.
Oh, yeah. Well, she looked like she was in danger just generally.
Yeah, she wasn't well. She looks a mess.
Yeah. And she's like, eh.
They discuss how they're pretty sure that, or Momo is pretty sure that Sakura's in her core form somewhere. And Liko mentions that she's seen cores before, but like that they usually take the form of animals. You sort of get the impression that, like, because she's saying she saw them back in the day, and like she said, like she saw one that took the form of a monkey. And you see like a magical girl grabbing a monkey and going, you'll pay for this, which makes me think that Liko knows this because she probably beat one up.
Well, yeah, she makes it, I mean, in that other episode, she's like, it's been a while since I've done this or whatever. So yeah, she used to get in fights with priestesses or whatever.
Yeah.
She calls it squabble.
So that's a bit of new information that the core might be moving around. Can take a form other than this, because Momo didn't know that.
Maybe the writer didn't know that initially.
Well, I don't know.
It felt like it could have been one of those things where it's like, wait, I figured out a way to make it more fun. What if she was a cute magical cat thing for a bit? Yes!
I do wonder about that, like in terms of how much she had planned out, because, and there is sort of some established reasons for why Momo might not know this stuff. But yeah, there is this thing where like things keep being changed and escalated, and we keep getting new bits of information. And with a similar thing in this episode with Yuko's powers. Up to this point, her powers have been kind of not that useful, like just being able to go into people's dreams and mess with them. But like we're going to find out that the powers are more complicated than that, and like a bit more powerful as well.
That was just how I described it to you to keep it simple at the time. I promise. Wink. But yeah, I don't mind it because it's clearly like you. I mean, and obviously as someone who's written webcomics and stuff, I can see that vibe of like, oh, I found a way to make it more interesting. This is it's clearly like not what I was planning originally, but it's just cooler. I got to do it. And it works just well enough that I'm like, all right.
And because it does kind of line up with this arc of Yuko actually getting more powerful as well.
Yeah.
So it kind of works out. And also like her increasing assertiveness and confidence in herself, which comes and goes, but it lines up nicely enough with that I'm like, yeah, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
They're getting ready to leave. They added a joke here. Like in the manga, Tapir is saying that, oh, okay, we're going to leave you to rest some more. And then it cuts to Liko wanting to play the video game console.
Oh, yeah?
In the manga, it's just that. She was going to play the video game console. In this, they added a CAG, which is like, hey, which save file can I delete? And Yuko's like, I mean, I guess the second one, and then Tapir says we're going, and then Liko deletes the file anyway.
Yeah, well, yeah, because she's going to keep playing, and she does keep playing. Oh, I also like that when she enters, the mom asks if they need anything, and she asks for inari sushi, and then she ends up getting it, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's very hard to make.
And for some reason, they cut away to like an explanation of what inari sushi is, which is very strange because it's not that rare of a food item or anything. It's very weird that it's like, let's just explain what inari sushi is real quick.
I think they were killing time.
That is very possible.
Because there's a bit of reused henshins in this one again, and with what are clearly the wrong clothes again. But that's fine.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like of all the ways to kill time, let's explain a food item you're all familiar with.
So before Tapir leaves, he asks Yuko if she'd be willing to keep working there. And Yuko's like, yeah, sure, it seems like a good way to gather info. But Momo's like very, very, very against this because she's still feeling really guilty about making Yuko work.
Yeah. And it didn't turn out so well last time. What with her getting super high and tired.
No, but like it's true. But at the same time, there is this something nice to see about seeing Yuko being assertive, and sort of looking at the positive of what she could do if she was more involved.
Yeah,
Momo's trying to protect her, but she is also kind of wrong, I guess. Yeah.
It's understandable, but I guess, in the end, you do have to let Yuko make her own decisions, and you know what? Her decisions are all going to be what's best for you, Momo. Sorry, she wobu.
I did like there's a little bit where Yuko's like, she's probably just jealous because I've been doing so well lately and she's been doing not as well, and Momo just really frustrated.
But yeah, because Momo's so, against it, he's like, hey, maybe I got to do a little bit of bribery. What I have is a bunch of Tama Sakura merchandise.
Yeah. Now, it's funny because he brought it for Yuko, but she's like, oh, hey, Momo loves this stuff. Momo's like, I like this line. It's like, I don't like it. I'm only fascinated by her to a point where it adversely affects my life.
Yeah, so she has a Ruby relationship with her. But we have the same brain. We're the same fucking person.
Anyway.
Yeah. But in this case, she does actually like her a lot.
Yes. Yeah, she actually thinks it's good.
But yeah, she wants to downplay it. But it's one of the reasons she likes her is something that you like as a reader had a good chance of noticing already, which is that the Tama Sakura has a lot of visual similarities with her sister.
Yeah, it's Sakura.
And the little we've seen of what her magical girl costume might look like.
Yeah. This was like one of my favorite gags in the manga when I was originally reading it was Momo being worn down by the promise of increasingly rare merch. And I think this is the start of a point in the story when we start to see Momo getting worn down or flustered more often. And it's just cute. It's just, yeah, because she's just I want to stand my ground. And then it's a very rare autographed telephone card and a chance to take a photo with her. And Momo's like, arigato.
Yeah, I do like that. That's what tips her over the edge is that she could take a photo with the mascot, and that's a very cute mental image.
Yeah,
do you want to do it?
Yeah, so she points out that the color schemes and some of the aspects of the costume are the same. But the tapey says, well, that's strange because I never actually saw Sakura transformed. I base it on a mysterious cat spirit that I saw one night.
Total coincidental cat spirit, probably.
Yeah, that I saw a couple of nights after I last saw Sakura. And at that point, Rio picks up on the significance of this because Rio turned up, asked if she could hang out because she'd been doing her own research, and then she has a PowerPoint presentation. But yeah, this is Rio getting to be the tactician for once because she sort of puts all these pieces together, which is okay. Sakura disappeared. Cores can turn into animals.
Yeah,
and the tapir saw a cat that looked kind of like Sakura.
Yeah, and it was a few nights after the last time he saw her, and it was this little white cat with this certain kind of tie that looks like a thing on Sakura's costume, though obviously he didn't know that. And it was very magical, and it left no footprints in the snow, and then it disappeared into a hotel.
Yeah.
Or what we discover is a hotel. So it's that ain't normal.
Yeah, they're trying to figure out where it went, and they realize it went to this memorial hospital, which was where Yuko was when she was a kid. When she was very sick. And then they're like, well, Momo's like, hey, do you ever remember seeing a cat? And Yuko's like, well, no. It was a long time ago and I was very ill.
Who the fuck is Yuko?
Sorry. And then Mum walks in and says, oh yeah, Yuko saw a cat.
Yeah, I remember that.
Now there's another nice little bit here where Momo is got Yuko by the horns and she's shaking her around and just saying, do you remember a cat? You have to remember a cat. And obviously Yuko still doesn't. But there's a little pause where she goes, hey, this is kind of like our old dynamic. You're acting like your old self. It feels nice.
You're being controlling and aggressive with me. I think I like that.
But also just because Momo's been so nice lately that she's been it's been uncomfortable.
Yeah, and she's been very introspective and whatnot.
And yeah, this is when Lilith suggests her powers aren't so much about just going into dreams as it's about entering the subconscious. So it's possible to go look at memories as well as dreams. And Yuko can do this to herself if she wants to. So maybe that's the way she might be able to go and find these memories.
I do like that at first she's like, no, you Momo was like, explain it all in front of us. And Shamisen is like, no, demons only. And she makes the little boo boo face. and then Momo says that she can have the tickets to get more homunculus bodies. And she's like, okay, I'll tell you everything.
Yeah, straight away. Yuko goes to sleep so she can do this.
Because very important shit.
Yeah, this is where we're gonna get that's what's funny is we just had a whole information dump, a bunch of people putting a bunch of stuff together, and then this ends up being even bigger. What happens next?
Yeah, a lot happens in these two episodes.
Yeah, it accelerates so fast. And again, it kind of makes sense because in terms of the pacing, this was one volume, right?
Yeah.
So it starts with them sort of resuming, because the end of volume 2 or the end of season 1 is them saying we're going to work together. Eventually we'll get demon married, but we're going to work together to try and find Sakura. And so volume 3 is like they start the search, stuff happens. And then at the end of this volume,
they discover the secrets hidden within the Yuko.
So Yuko goes into her memories, and her memories are represented as an endless hospital corridor.
Yeah, in the darkness.
Yeah, we're touching on the period when Yuko was very, very ill as a 4-year-old, which is sad.
And Lilith is able to contact her through like a mirror in the dream dimension, so she's kind of on like a little holographic screen thing being like, bop, bop, bop.
Yeah, go here, do this. Her bad memories are represented by medical equipment, like giant syringes and drip bags and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
She needs to avoid those or Lilith's going to lose her connection to her because there'll be too much interference. And what's funny is that Yuko's saying how, like, I don't really remember any of this, and Lilith's saying, that's good, because that means that you've suppressed all of these memories, and that means you're very mentally healthy. It's like the same way that I repress all the memories of when I was defeated.
I think she, like, explained it a little differently in terms of, like, you let go of those memories, but then when she declares it, like when she describes it for herself, she makes it clear that she's just suppressing things.
Yeah, and Yuko's like, you're so cool. But then, like, the flip side of it is that she mentions, people who ruminate on bad memories, they tend to have dreams that are just full of muck and, covered in stuff. And
who could that be like? Who did we see that was like that?
She flashes back to Momo's dream. This is
Momo.
Momo.
Oh, and also Shamiko finally is spending a lot of time in these episodes, and she transforms into her Kikikani, which I forgot. I do really love when she says that, but she's in her dumb demon outfit for the rest of this dream sequence.
Yeah, and the boobs and everything. It sucks.
Yeah, man.
Anyway, she's trying to hide from the memories in a Mikan box. She can't.
Solid snick.
Yeah, she's running. She's lost connection to Lilith. She doesn't know what to do, and then she starts hearing a voice.
You need to use your super powerful rod. That's her. No, it doesn't sound anything like that. But she tells her she has to use her special wand, her special fork. Because
it turns out the wand, like, it's even more powerful in dreams because that's where the demons naturally work. She uses it, and she's able to sort of beat up the memories temporarily. But then this sort of weird blobby thing appears and says, "Hey, listen, I've got a chance to talk to you. Can you just try and focus?" And you'll bring me more into reality.
Yeah, into dream reality.
And so Yuko focuses. I don't know what it was in Japanese, but it was translated as hocus pocus, which I kind of liked.
Oh yeah. I think it was just like kind of like Nantaka, whatever. But I like that when she's encouraging her, she's still like that pixelated blob, and it's just kind of swinging around on the screen, like you can do it. Yeah, it's Pixel Blob.
Anyway, she focuses successfully, and the blob takes form. And guess who it is?
It's Sakura. Wait, no, it's actual Sakura, not the cat mascot.
No,
it's Momo's big sister.
Yeah, and the first thing she says is, "Thank you for taking good care of my little sister."
Yee.
There's a little voiceover of Shamiko speaking to her dad, saying, "Hey, Dad, I think I met someone really important."
Yeah. Holy shit! I was just going in here looking for clues, but she's right here. And her design is pretty cool, and I like how it's a little more like dignified and simplified, Like it looks a little more serious than the other magical girls because she's the cool, mature, older one.
Yeah, and very powerful one too. Like that's her whole thing.
Yeah.
At first, Yuko's like, I'm so glad I found you. This was a huge success. I got to take you to Momo. And then Sakura's like, hey, I can't. I'm barely together. You can't yank on me or I go all fuzzy. I can't come with you. I can't leave the dream realm. But you don't need to worry about the core because it's in you. And Yuko's like, oh, good. Wait, what? Yeah. So Yuko has the core inside her. There's a whole odd logistics thing about how, like, Sakura is speaking through Yuko's brain, and so she has to use Yuko's vocabulary, so she can't really explain exactly what's going on properly because...
Fucking excuses.
So she has to show her instead.
I like that at one point she grabs Yuko's horns and Yuko's like, oh, not the horn handles. Because, like, obviously that's a thing Momo does. But I just like that, like, this thing that happens to her has its own name now.
Happens a lot. I do like that you also immediately learn that Sakura is also a goof.
Of course.
Which kind of got the impression that she might have been. But she's
Is anyone in this show not going to be a goof? Come on.
Yeah, true. She's focusing on what was happening back in the day. She manages to access a memory of what happened between her and Sakura. One of the things we learn is that Sakura is very real with what was happening to Yuko at the time, which was, she kind of implies that Yuko was basically going to die.
Yeah.
I thought. Sakura was helping the mum out by treating Yuko with her powers, but she was also saying that, I knew that you were a lot worse off than your mum did because your soul was almost reduced to nothing by that curse. It was being torn apart. And so she said, I was really just treating you for your mother's peace of mind, which really sounds to me like palliative care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the thing about the half of the curse? Like, she said something about her sister's half of the curse. Is that supposed to be something we recognize?
That's a translation error.
Oh.
Yeah, because Sakura says my sister when what she meant was your sister. She's talking about Yuko's sister, which is Rio.
Oh.
That's a thing I think was established back in the day, was that, like, the way the curse in the family is supposed to work is that every child gets some aspect of the curse, but Yuko ended up taking on Rio's curse as well, which is why she was so ill.
Yeah, so I get it. So she probably just said Emoto, and the translators assumed that they meant her Emoto, but she meant Shamiko's Emoto.
Yeah.
I gotchas. Yeah, because I was like, is that something that I should know about? Wait, what?
Yeah, no, it's just a translation error.
Okay.
So Sakura said that, like, after she was reduced to her core and she was just thinking about what she should do next, she remembered Yuko. And there's this little moment where she's saying, you know, as a cat, she's standing on top of Yuko and saying, you're this really sweet, compassionate girl who took on your sister's curse, and I want better things for you. So she doesn't have any energy left, and she stores her core inside Yuko, but because the core's in there, it's able to sustain Yuko and make her a bit healthier. So she was able to recover.
Ta-da! So Yuko has the spirit of Momo's older sister deep inside her, kind of helping her keep her alive, but she also has to sap a little of her energy every day to, like, kind of work on maintaining her form or whatever.
Yeah, she mentions that she was able to talk to her because she's been siphoning off a little bit of storage of her magic every day. And she says, like, oh, we'll be able to do this again at some point. I'm just going to need to, you know, charge for a while. Because she starts disappearing. And this is another one of these no heterosexual explanation type times where Yuko is saying, no, you can't leave. I have to bring you back to Momo. She's never going to smile if she doesn't see you again. Mm-hmm. And Sakura says, Momo doesn't need me anymore. I get the impression she's found something far more important.
What could that be? What could it be? What could be more important than Momo's entire past and history to her? I don't understand.
Yeah. Sakura disappears after she asks something of Yuko, but we don't find out what it is yet.
Meanwhile, in the real world, pa-pum.
I was going to say, the thing is, she's still trapped, though. She's still lost in the dream without any connection to Lilith.
Yeah, so interspersed with these scenes has been what's going on outside her bod, with Momo and Mikon and them freaking out over the fact that she's kind of lost in there. And Lilith says that, you know, like, she might wander in there for a few days and be in pain and confused. And Momo's like, I'll do anything to not let that happen. Anything!
Lilith is saying, look, it's bad. Like, this is a mistake that a lot of, you know, succubi make. It won't be fun, but, you know, she'll wake up okay in 3 days. It's just she's going to have, like, constant nightmares for, like, 3 days. Momo's like, no, we're going to do something. We're not letting that happen. We're going to do something. And, like, Lilith's saying, I can't find her while I'm still in the statue. So Momo's like, okay, well, how much blood do you need? Do you need a few gallons? And she's, like, ready to cut herself.
Yeah, and it's like, I'd forgotten about the blood thing.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
It's a funny little detail that she meant that, you know, again, maybe possibly a retcon, but Lilith makes it clear that Momo is too young and not powerful enough to break the seal with her own blood anyway.
Yeah.
Like, you would need the blood of several magical girls, apparently.
Maybe one Sakura would have done in her heyday. But so what can she do, Fiend? What can she do to save Shamiko?
Lilith's kind of saying, well, they need someone else. Like, they need someone who's got a lot of magic power so they won't get lost.
Okay.
But they also need someone, like, the only reason Lilith was able to go into the dream with her is because they have a familial connection. So they need someone who is in some way family to Yuko.
Yeah, someone who's as close to Yuko as if she's family and has super magical power.
Momo's like, I've got it. We cut back to Yuko in the dream. At first, she's all confident. Like, she's going to be like, yeah, no, I can do this. I'm going to become super powerful. Because, like, that was the other thing that Sakura said, is that, like, eventually if you become powerful enough, we'll be able to take the core out.
Yeah, so you got to keep training. And they show the flashbacks to all the training she's been doing with Momo. And it's like, I'm so proud of you, Yuko. You're really working on it. You're coming far. I love you.
Yeah, and she's all, and, you know, that's the thing. She's all, like, you know, ready to do that again and become more powerful, you know. And she's psyching herself up saying, it's going to be easy. And then she runs into more bad memories. And she's running away going, that's not easy.
Oh, yeah, I'm still stuck in the dreams room.
Yeah, I'm still stuck in the dream and I'm running out of energy, so I can't really fight them anymore. And so she thinks this is it. Like, she's going to be stuck in the dream. And then there's a henshin.
Is a good henshin. There's one
good, yeah.
There's one very confusing shot in it, but the rest of it is this a really solid henshin for Momo to become darkness speech?
I love that she even ends the pose with, like, the chuni pose with the fingers over the eye.
I know, it's so fucking dorky. But yeah, it's, like, really nice and snappy the way she throws up the wand and everything and does it's really good. There's one shot that at first it looks like it's on her butt, and it's going to be that Yuki Yuna transformation where kind of shot where she like stick the butt out and they go bam, and it's transformed. But it turns out it was like in the front of her skirt, and then you see her knees, but it was a confusing shot, and I had to go back and be like, that's not okay, we good.
Her darkness costume, how do you feel about it?
I like it a little more in the anime. It does reveal a lot of midsection, and it's obviously it's not as bad as Shamiko's, and it's a little worse than her magical girl outfit. But at least, especially because the anime is so good at like not drawing the girls leeringly, I don't mind it so much. It just looks like a kind of cool punk outfit, and it's simple, and I'm down with it.
And it's like she still has her wand and stuff, but now it has bat wings instead. Which is kind of just lots of silly stuff like that. So anyway, Momo has fallen to darkness and become her vassal because that makes her family.
Ta-da! She's already bathing. Does she even need to do that? Who knows?
It's funny because like Yuko's just so fucking excited.
Yeah, she sees it and she's like, "Oh my god, how did this happen? What? Oh, look at this! You look so cool, and because you're tall, and the black looks so good on you. It's
Momo just picks her up by the horn and wangs on the ground. He's like, sorry.
but Yuko notices that she has scars on her tum-tum, and she's like, oh no, what happened? And Momo has to explain that happened long ago, and it's like, Momo.
So yeah, they get out. She just drags her out to like a portal that I loved this portal. You can't quite see it clearly, but it's clearly like one of those like exit signs with a stick figure running, but the stick figure has Lilith's statue's head. Yeah. It's just this is funny.
Oh, I like Lilith calls in and she's like, Darkness Peach, do you read me or something? And Shami goes like, what's that? What's this about Darkness Peach? And Momo's like, just forget about it for now. And as she's dragging her out, Shamiko does the don't think this means you won.
Yeah.
Which I'd forgotten about as her catchphrase.
As the eye catch finishes and we're coming out of the dream, Yuko is seeing memories that are not hers. So she's seeing the scene right before when Momo was deciding to do this.
They gotta show it's to Shamiko for maximum gay feels.
And it's Momo saying, I think she helped me once in a dream and I have to do the same for her. Yeah. Like, and I still want to find my sister. I still want to protect this town. But I think there's something more important to me now. Da-da. And it cuts to a shot of Momo taking Yuko's hand. Like, and it wakes up and they're lying down together holding hands. And it's just like, for fuck's sake.
I don't know what you're talking about. This is the straightest thing that's ever happened. Also, Ogura's here. She helped or whatever.
They went to Ogura's lab to do this because they needed a bunch of preparation. I do like... So Ogura's doing her usual thing of cosplaying in her stupid witch outfit. But she's also holding this little, what looks like a puppet bird. And at the end of that little bit, the bird just says, I used to be a bird.
Yeah. I was like, oh no, what did she do? Oh no.
We talked about it in the taste of, like, I brought it up, but it really reminded me of that Nichijou scene.
Oh yeah, I'm getting used to this form.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that was fucked up.
Momo's still passed out and they're explaining to Yuko what they did. And one of the things that Lilith mentions is that Momo has been mentally prepared to go to the dark side a long time ago.
Oh, surprising. Eyebrows.
My Momo.
and yeah. I like that they're like, so in the dream, she's a dark side, but she's still physically in the real world going to be light side or whatever. She's double classing. And I was like, wow, cool.
Lilith is about to say, the fact that she's so close to the dark side is thanks to you. Basically what this means is, and then...
Yeah, her feelings for you must be...
Yeah. Momo wakes up and forces the doll to stab itself in the throat so it stops speaking.
Oh yeah, also like, what was it with the Momo or Shamiko where, like Lilith is trying, I think it was with Shamiko where Mikan is trying to wake her up by squirting lemon into her mouth. Yeah. And then there's like another scene where like she's just talking in the background, but just like does like some more squirts just ancillarily.
Oh, and it was after... It was after Momo said something really heartfelt, and so like the music was playing, and Mikan was doing that thing going Momo, and then squirt.
It was well timed.
Yeah. So Momo's up, and now it turns out that even though she's only she's half and half of the minute, so mentally dark and physically light, if she stays like this, she's going to fall to darkness completely. So they've got to bring her back fully to the light. Man, this is another one of those magical girl things where it's like it has to be done via the power of friendship by Mikan.
Yeah.
She has to focus on all of her positive feelings towards Momo and how much Momo has done for her. That'll bring Momo back.
Yeah.
they're sort of, dorking around with this idea of like, the power of friendship is actually magic, but it also is like kind of heartfelt for Mikan in that moment.
Yeah, and I like that it feels different from Momo and Shamiko. Like it's one of those things where it's like maybe they just frame everything gay, but this just feels like, like she's just very grateful and they have a good friendship and she appreciates Momo. Pachoom.
Yeah. It is also funny though that like Yuko at first is, worried about the fact that Mikan is going to shoot Momo in the face. But then she's just kind of disappointed that Momo's not going to be permanently dark side. Like she's really kind of,
we're getting demon divorced already. No. But yeah, Momo's like, look, I can't be like sapping off of your magic energy, which is what your vassals would do. You're just gonna have to keep getting stronger first. You just gotta keep getting stronger.
So she shoots Momo. Momo's back, although her little hairpiece stays black.
Yeah, was that the case in the manga? I guess it must have been, right?
Yeah. They address it. I think they address it later on. She's not gone completely back to the way she was. She's capable of flipping over to the dark side again.
Yeah, at any moment for her Shamiko.
We're not going to get to it in this season, I don't think, but there's one chapter that plays with this that is possibly my favorite chapter in the whole fucking comic.
God damn.
Because it's so gay, but it's also so pathetic.
Oh no.
Like it's just Momo being just such a fucking sap, and it's so good.
Oh, they end up back. They have to go rest back at their apartments, and Shamiko's thinking about all that stuff she found out and how she's gonna have to tell Momo about it.
Yeah.
And she's worried Momo will be mad and want to get the core after her, and she imagines her doing the fresh peach hammerhead shot. And it's cute.
It's always fish. She's always picturing Momo attacking with fish, like with the smackerel.
Yeah, I always remember that. God, that's such a good. Please, not the smackerel. Good subbers.
But like she's also, aside from like she's afraid of telling Momo because she's not sure how Momo will take it, but she's also just in general feeling bad about all the work that people have done, like to help her specifically.
Yeah,
like the fact that Sakura, Sakura was about to turn into a core anyway, but that she sacrificed herself this entire time. That the sister Momo has been looking for was being in her the entire time, like all that sort of stuff. Like so, yeah, she's feeling a bit rough about all that too, and she's also. It turns out one of the things Sakura said to her was, "Can you please look after Momo, but also please keep protecting the city while you're at it?"
Yeah. Just as a bonus.
After all of this, Shamiko's sort of feeling a bit like, I don't know if that's really something I can do. What I do like, though, is that as much as she is afraid of telling Momo, she just goes and tells her. Like, there's no hesitation anymore. Just,
yeah.
No, she's going to go communicate. That's the right thing to do.
You gotta be honest with the Momo. Oh, before I forget, as they're leaving the shed, before they go back to the apartment, Mikan's like, well, honestly, that was a lot of pressure on me, so my curse is about to go crazy. And then so as they leave the shed, just like fucking Jack and the Beanstalk plants grow out of it. But I like that also a comet falls, and the comet is labeled Omake, like bonus. that brought me joy.
Yeah, that's really funny.
And then they're like, oh, fuck, we ruined the shed. And Ogra's like, that's fine. It belonged to the school. And Momo was like, that was the issue. I don't give a fuck if it's your shed. Gotta go tell Momo. And Momo, I like how she's like lounging as Shamiko comes in.
Yeah. She's just on the phone.
It's a funny pose.
But yeah, they go outside, stand on the balcony. Yeah, Momo takes it quite well. Like, better than Shamiko thought she was gonna.
Yeah.
Shamiko's saying, at first she's saying, we got to get the core out of me. Maybe we can use a vacuum cleaner. Momo's like, it's not a piece of mochi stuck in your throat.
Yeah. And she's like, you know what? It's fine.
She's like, I think it should stay there for now. And she's saying, but you want to do sister back? And like, Momo just like taps her on the chest and says, I know where she is.
Yeah.
But I'm fine with that.
It's gonna be fine. Yeah. And she's like, I don't really have any, like super big things I need to worry about with the city anymore. Guess I have to focus on something else. You focus on her new goal of keeping Shamiko happy. That's my new goal. And she smile big. She big a smile.
Like it's such a nice little line where she's like she frames in her fingers just this little area, and she says, I just want to protect this little corner of the town that makes Yuko happy.
Yeah.
And she turns to her and smiles and says, I think that's enough for me for now. And Yuko just bursts into tears.
Sob.
Yeah. It's funny because it holds on a really long shot of her just like being completely shocked, and then it's one of those things where like often the tears in the show are played for sort of like in a jokey way. This one felt a bit more real.
Oh yeah, like those good Ghibli tears of like, I'm overcome with emotion.
Yeah, and she cries for a while. Like,
well, understandable.
Yeah,
Momo finally smiled, and she smiled because she was thinking about how much she just wants to take care of Shamiko. It's good shit.
Yeah, and then Momo's like, wait, why are you crying? What's wrong? And the usual eye juice gags, and then do you want anything? maybe a popsicle.
Yeah, the kind of popsicle that you break into two to share like they did at the end of last season, which is why like this really felt like a season ender kind of scene to me, you know?
Yeah. Well, like I said, it was a volume ender, which makes sense.
Volume ender.
But anyway, yeah, they go to the riverbank. Yeah, and Yuko's saying how she's anxious about the idea that she can't actually do what Sakura asked her to do in terms of protecting the city. And Momo's like encouraging her by speaking her language, and saying like, look, you just need more underlings. You're a mistress of darkness. That's what you do. You have underlings. We just need to get more people.
Yeah, and by underlings, I mean precious friends.
Yeah. Well, I think she asked her to split the popsicle and says, as we split this, we will be two souls bonded like family. I'm like, yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, Momo. Okay, Momo.
Yeah, it's almost like if there was a way for two people who like aren't family to become family, like maybe two people who care about each other a whole lot. And Shamiko's like, what? And Mom's like, never mind, just eat your popsicle. And Shamiko's like, no, wait, say that again.
Yeah, and the dad says the line for this one is forge more friendly rivalries and encourage each other to grow even stronger. It's like, yeah, this is magical girl shit.
Fuck yeah.
This is like it always comes back. This is a magical girl show. This is magical girl shit.
Yeah, everything is just about improving yourself to help your friends that you care about a lot, and it's a good vibe.
This is such a good show, Cube. How is it this good?
I like it.
It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
And like it's just on this podcast we've covered a lot of like the post Madoka magical girl shows. We've talked about magical girl shows, and like all of the ones that have tried to there's been so much trash, just tons of trash. But the two really good ones since then have been this one, which was a weird Ford Coma parody, and the one that was made by Subaru, who make cars.
Yeah,
it's so strange.
Wait, people are saying what? I didn't notice that. 1 sec, I need to hear that. He says Demon Girl Tachi.
Oh, yeah, he did say, he didn't say Ganbate Shamiko, he said Ganbate Demon Girls.
Mazoku Tachi! Yeah, so he's asking, he says Ganbare Mazoku Tachi, so it's because he thinks, hey, you're one of us too now.
Yeah.
Shamiko's father has accepted Momo into the family.
Yeah.
He approves.
And it's like it's been said before, like other characters have pointed out, Momo is like, the most demon-like of all of them.
Yeah.
The most cunning, the most devious.
God damn it.
But yeah, good show. It's a good show. Now this next arc.
Yeah, so I don't know what's coming because I think I've only read like a bit into the next arc or something.
I can tell you who it's about if you want.
Oh, is it about Ogura?
No.
Is it about Liko?
No.
Is it about Momo?
No.
Is it about Mikan?
Yes.
Oh.
We're getting a Mikan arc. Now, it's going to be like the last one where there's going to be a bunch of like, other things. But yeah, it's going to end with a significant bit of growth for Mikan.
Damn. Yeah. I have it. So yeah, this is going to be fresh stuff for me. It's going to be fresh peach heart shower.
But yeah, it's good stuff. I like this whole bit. It's fun.
Hey, I like the show and manga. I like the Demon Girl Next Door. I like it.
It's a good show. You should watch it.
Yeah.
If we haven't made that clear.
Did you know we're pretty bullish on it?
Yeah. Okay. So that's that, and we'll see you next week for more Mahu.
It offends me that you pronounce it that way, Fiend.
What, Maho?
Hey.